I'm Steph Stricklen with GeekWire Studios here at AWS reInvent 2024. We're here to talk about learning. Obviously at AWS, a lot of learning going on, but this is something very specific. I'd like to introduce you right now to my guest. We have with us Professor Majd Sakr from Accenture LearnVantage, Chief Learning and Research Officer. Professor, thanks for making the time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Do me a favor, explain to me what is the story of Accenture LearnVantage and what need is it attempting to serve?
It's trying to solve Accenture LearnVantage is trying to solve a very important problem. Currently, learning is broken into too many pieces. And whenever you want to enable your workforce so that they develop their capacity and skills so that they can be more productive or carry out new tasks, it is a broken down process where you have to take a skill from here and knowledge from there and stitch it all together so that you can achieve a goal. Accenture LearnVantage attempts to solve this problem by saying, we want to offer one solution for all of your learning needs. And I can give you a couple of examples to make it real. Consider yourself in the retail industry. And consider you have an AWS architect who's trying to build a solution for the retail industry. What are the things they need to know? So first, they need to have some foundational technical skills. They have to develop their AWS skills, and they need to know more about the retail industry so that they can bring all of these together to build a viable solution. Right now, if you look at the way this is done without Accenture LearnVantage, it's done in piecemeal, where the architect works on one thing and says, how can I get the insight for this industry? Then they have to go somewhere and get that. And so we want to make that all seamless and very easy for the learners and the administration to have one place to get all of their learning needs satisfied.
Professor, it's so interesting to me that the way you describe learning is not dissimilar to how people are migrating to the cloud, looking for service providers in the middle to help automate systems so that they don't have to deal with that heavy lifting. You're attempting to solve that heavy lifting problem by bringing all that knowledge together under one sort of umbrella. I think it is admirable. You've discussed why the world needs it, but how does this work as an AI-powered platform?
Yeah, we use AI throughout LearnVantage. And let me take a step back.
Yeah.
LearnVantage, you can think of it as 4 segments. The first segment, we typically say, what version of yourself do you need to become so that you remain relevant? You don't get disrupted, and you are innovative, and you are growing your market share. And you can summarize that as your future workforce strategy. What does that look like? So that's the version of yourself that you aspire to become. And we use AI where we take a client's current strategy and we break that down into a skill ontology per role so that we know now what their needs are, right, across their workforce. But a question comes up is, where's your workforce today, right? So then we also use Gen AI to do assessments on the workforce so that we can get a strong signal as to where your workforce is today. And now that we know where your workforce is today and where you aspire to be, then we curate specific training with all of our ecosystem partners, primarily our content, Udacity, which Accenture LearnVantage and Accenture acquired a little bit ago, as well as other ecosystem partners that we have partnerships with. And then we curate the trainings so that you can upskill and reskill your workforce. So take a data scientist and you want to enable their AI skills. What does your data scientist at your organization is capable of doing today? And how do we then curate the proper training so that they can have the skills they need for you tomorrow? And the last segment, the 4th segment, is the certification piece, where we now make sure that you are industry certified and that investment that you have made will qualify you to do certain specific tasks and jobs. So as you can see, it's the end-to-end process, and we utilize AI in the first 3 segments that I described, and that's where we are leveraging the power of AI.
Certification, obviously something important even within the AWS architectures that are offered.
Correct.
We are in this negative unemployment ecosystem oftentimes when it applies to IT, and it sounds to me like what you're really offering is the ability for a company to have a transformational shift in the way that it views its employees. It doesn't have to just touch your IT department, which is already task saturated, and hopefully AI will help solve some of those problems. But you're really talking about creating a very competent workforce, all sharing a similar language of success in terms of what they can learn through this portal.
With the impending disruption that's going to come from the rapid adoption of generative AI that you are seeing everywhere, especially here, there's going to be a big need for us to make sure we enable the end-to-end workforce with the capability they need so that you can make the organization AI ready. And that is a very critical piece, because AI is not just a technology that you plug in and use. You have to make sure all your stakeholders are familiar from their job roles perspective of what does AI mean to them and what do they need to know about it so that they can be an effective player in the end-to-end workflow. And that's why the job role-based training becomes a critical aspect of this.
I have to ask you, what is the favorite part of your job? What a great title that you have in such a unique learning opportunity. What's the best part of your day?
First, Accenture is an incredible place to be. It's a global institution that is made up of, a very diverse group of talented, motivated, ambitious individuals that truly want to invent the future. And they're very much client-centric and very focused on enabling success in the client. And so my favorite part is, how do I enable the employees of Accenture to make sure that they are capable for their future? And then how do we together enable all of our clients so that they are well prepared for the future that they have? The other piece that we do is we also analyze a lot of data so that we can identify the most effective training methods for the different groups in your workforce, because learning efficiency is a big deal. We do not want to waste people's time. We want to make sure that when we are asking someone to invest hours in learning, that they are leading to the proper outcomes that will allow them then to achieve their job requirements.
Professor Sakr, thank you so much for coming down, talking to us about Accenture's LearnVantage program. Thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
I'm Steph Stricklen. You're watching GeekWire Studios.